Coming up this week on Beyond the Vibe, we're joined by Stevie Westwood of Bad Touch.
It's a weekday on the beers. Yes! Joined a website called formingbands.co.uk because I'd literally typed in how to form a band into Google, and I turned up. I'd advertised myself as a guitar player who could also possibly hold a tune, which I absolutely couldn't. And I turned up, and there was Rob and Seeks in there, and they both were rocking like genuine Les Pauls, genuine Gibson Les Pauls, and I'd turned up with like my Epiphone copy, and I was like, I'm not even going to bother getting it out. Like, it had. I'm not a particularly spiritual bloke, or I'm kind of fairly down to earth, but it had this aura and this atmosphere about it that was weird. We put a mic down the hall and chocked the door open to the studio, and Briano just rode the faders on the desk, and the whole building just sang to us. Like, it was just the feedback of the building, and he was just riding the faders of these different mics, and it was like just creating harmonies and stuff, and we used them in the song.
Hello and welcome to Beyond the Vibe, the show that cuts deep into the world of music.
My name is Aaron Day, lead guitarist, not just guitarist, in UK band These Wicked Rivers. I'm here with music videographer and photographer. It's Mr. Ryan Vasey.
It is.
On the sofa again. We like the sofa. It's beautiful.
With a key difference this week, you'll notice that we've returned to multi-camera.
Oh, look at Mr. Vasey using the multi-cam.
And you know why? Because there is a new laptop here today.
He's been telling me about it for 2 hours. Get me saying that on the multicam.
Yes.
Look at my devastation on multicam. 2 hours. He's been telling me. How's your week been, Mr. Vasey?
Oh, it's been good. Well, it's been better because I have a new piece of tech.
Yes. Yeah, I've mentioned it.
Yes.
2 hours.
For anybody that doesn't know.
Anybody who doesn't, who hasn't passed you on the street and he shouted it in your face.
But yes.
I'm happy for you though. It looks good.
Yes,
good.
I'm
Lots of editing on it.
Yeah, we've progressed. My old one used to just backfire like an old car.
It was bloody awful. Honestly, it was shocking.
But yes, we finally upgraded.
No, that's good. And obviously, one of the pieces of work that you recently edited was for Mr. Lee Graham.
Yes.
For Just Push Play Festival, for those who don't know. And so we've got Lee and Stevie from Bad Touch on this week's show.
Yes. Stevie, really cool dude.
Yeah, great chat with Stevie.
Yeah.
Loves him, great character. Anybody who knows Bad Touch will know how big a character Stevie is. And I love the fact that he's very open about the bands and I really felt like the togetherness between them. Do you know what I mean, in the interview? And I hope that comes across for people when they listen or watch it. It feels like it's them group of guys and they're doing it for themselves. And like Lee's very good at joking about the things that people maybe might target the band for, and I think that's the best way to deal with stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree, and I in particular I left it in the way Stevie entered into the chat in an amazing silhouette.
Form of shadow.
If you're in the Facebook group, you may have noticed me doing a bit of Photoshop work with Stevie's silhouette there.
He was very excited about his
If anybody
Photoshop
did
work.
manage to guess who it was, then well done.
You're in the wrong job if you guess what it was. Fucking Sherlock, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed the chat with both of them. I mean, we love Lee, don't we? Because he's in the similar sort of game, and he nicks all our guests.
Yeah, just for the
not
record.
the other way around.
Just for the record.
So yeah, no, we really enjoyed that chat, and you can listen to that now.
I'm just going to sort the lighting out. Uno momento. I know we're slightly 3 minutes late, but just 1 second, please.
No, rush, man. Hey!
I see.
Fucking airs down.
Oh,
Get down. I look too much like a gamer when I.
You're getting ready for a mean session fortnight.
That's what I mean. Yeah. No, I'm too vintage for that, man. It'd be Bomberman or something. Like.
How's your tat? What'd you get? How's your tattoo?
Oh yeah, I've just got like an arm of like shit, and that's just like I keep having bits added to it. So I got you can see upside down robot lady there. That's I got that today. Yeah, it's all like bands that have influenced me in Bad Touch.
Oh, cool.
That's Tin Lizzy as a joke there for you.
No, that's nice. Cool.
You get it, female
Yeah.
robot. That's the Dice off of Straight Shooter, the Bad Company album, and
Very nice.
that's some rain and some sunshine for Creedence Clearwater, and everything like it's just loads of little shit like that. So
No, I like that, man. Me and the missus have been watching loads of Ink Master, and like I've been watching.
oh man, some of the things they get, like it's
But I really like that sort of American traditional pirate thing of having loads.
yeah.
Of tattoos, like,
Yeah. So I've got one guy to do it all. He's an apprentice, and he's brilliant. So shout out to at Flash by Josh on Instagram. He's a great guy.
Beautiful. I've just been after watching Ink Master. I'm looking at getting something similar, but on my knee, and I've never had my knee done.
Yeah.
We'll see what.
No, I got this bit done today, like the ditch as they call it in the anti elbow, and that was quite tasty. But
Beautiful. Thanks for joining us, man. We'll dive into it. We'll include the tattoo chat in
Yeah, I'll
this
leave it.
show.
no, it's very soft.
It's interesting, man, because I think people will like that. Because if they come and see you, they'll clock the tats, and then they'll be.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm just desperately trying to make up for my lack of personality. So
That's all people with tattoos are doing.
that's all we're doing. Like,
Just going through the pain just to try and make up. So we're here with Stevie from Bad Touch. Thanks for joining us, Stevie.
it's a weekday on the beers.
Yes. Love it.
As we've all been for the last 18 months.
Yeah. Weekday drinking is just drinking at this point.
Yeah, it's like, no. Who are you?
Well, I drink red wine, so then you're allowed to have a bottle of red wine on a Wednesday. That's acceptable.
Oh yeah, that's cultured, isn't it?
Exactly.
As long as you got a bit of music on and you're doing a crossword, that's
Yeah, that's well, my missus paints, and I just watch her paint. You know what I mean? So I'm getting cultured.
that primo cultured. That is.
So let's go right back to the beginning for you, Stevie. How did it all start for you as a vocalist?
Okay, cool. So we're going to talk about some actual
We
stuff.
got to be serious.
Calm down, everyone. This is Ryan's role. Is he has to separate the bollocks and bring some sort of structure to it.
Okay. You can separate my bollocks any day, my friend. You can. Oh God, where is it? It's all gone wrong. So early on, I was doing so well. Vocally, I was awful. I was absolutely bloody awful. Some would argue that I still am. My mates from school, I was in one of the high school bands where we covered like Chili Peppers and like Blink 182 and stuff like that, and sort of all disappeared, as it all sort of generally does at the end of college. And I joined. This was back in the days of like MySpace and stuff. So I joined a website called formingbands.co.uk, because I'd literally typed in how to form a band into Google, and it was like the first one. So I clicked that, and then I got an email from some guys in Dereham in Norfolk, and I turned up. I'd advertised myself as a guitar player who could also possibly hold a tune, which I absolutely couldn't, but I put it there anyway. And I turned up, and there was Rob and Seeks in there, and they both were rocking like genuine Gibson Les Pauls, and I'd turned up with like my Epiphone copy, and I was like, I'm not even going to bother getting out, like, not even going to bother getting out. And they went, "Can you sing?" And I went, "Not really." And here we are.
I was going to ask you about the guitar, because I know on the gram you've done a bit of guitar stuff. So would you say around that time you were more a guitarist than a vocalist? Like,
I always wanted to be a guitar player in a band. The Bad Touch guys know that. I have always been very uncomfortable singing without a guitar in front of me, because it's a shield, isn't it? So yeah, always wanted to be a guitar player. Obviously hugely happy with where I am now, but yeah, I always wanted to be a guitar player. I still to this day love playing guitar. You know, excuse me, we all write a lot within the band, and you know, I write some of the guitar stuff just as much as some of the guitarists write some of the vocals. So yeah, we're a bit of a melting pot. You know, we all chop and change.
No, it's cool you've got enough room for you all to be able to tap into your own different creative interests, you know, because I think when there's a straight line there, you end up things can get frustrating, whereas if it's an open field, you know, you can all explore your own creativities, can't you?
It's part of the reason that we're all like still together and like we're still like you know, able to create music together, because there's no drama. Like if Bailey, the bass player, suddenly came in tomorrow and said, I don't know, this is me being a bit like weird, but like suddenly came in and went, I've got a trumpet line or so, so we wouldn't go, what are you doing? You're a bass player, calm down. We'd go, okay, cool, this will be a laugh. Like, listen to it, like, you know what I mean?
Sit back, get a beer out. Let's have a listen then, kid.
Let's hear your trumpet line, Bailey. But no, you know, all joking aside, that was a silly example. But like we're quite happy to listen to other people. You know, we're not bound by instrument, is what I'm trying to say. You know.
Cool. So you spoke about obviously you coming in for meeting the guys after typing into Google how to form a band. So was that the original foundations for Bad Touch? And in terms of the sound, like what was the original inspiration? Did you all come together and go, look, we want to sound like this, we want to be like this, or did it just all come naturally?
It's one of those things, man. We've been together like over a decade now, and we all had bands we liked, and we were a proper mismatch of it. We spent a good, well, we're still finding our sound now. Like, as you know, as musicians, you're always evolving and changing, and you might hear like a bloody Dizzy Rascal song that you think that's banging, and like, it affects you as a musician, you know. But yeah, so when we all started, like Bailey, our bass player, he was hugely into like his British heavy metal, and like George was like well into his kind of like folky stuff and lots of stuff across the board. George actually is technically a better singer than me. He's like grade 8 in vocals and stuff, like you know, and so he was into like all the kind of theatre and all interesting stuff like that. And then Rob was into his, or still is, like into his blues and sort of like really rootsy blues stuff. So it just kind of became a mismatch of kind of, I've got this idea for a song, what do you guys think about it? And that's where we still are today. That's literally exactly how it goes to this day. Okay, have you heard this new song by X? And we'll go, no. Oh, it's banging, check it out. And you go, not for me. I love it. Like it's a place that doesn't get boring, like, you know, because there's so much going on. It's not just like we love Southern rock, that's it. If you get what I mean, you know.
No, that's cool.
I said that like there's something wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Like, but you know, there's so much going on. Like, you know, it's so cool. I'm slightly excited because it's been so long since we've been able to play together, you know what I mean? And it's just like
cool, I feel that from you. I can feel the exuberance.
Yeah,
chatting about it.
Yeah,
it's nice to see.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you guys have had it as well. Like, it's been it's such an awful time for everyone, not just musicians, but like it's a huge part here, and it's kind of realigned us all as musicians. Like, with so just the electricity and the fire of like what we had 8 years ago is now back, because we're like, we took it for granted, we're not going to take it for granted again, you know. So
no, that's cool, man.
Also, yeah, I've been to the pub and had a pint, so
well, you mix with that weird adrenaline you get after having a tattoo that you've actually got through.
Yeah.
Yourself.
Yeah, I'm very tired.
As well. So you've got them two bubbling away in your bollocks. You're doing a good job of it, man. I'm vibing on it. It's cool.
I'm rolling. Yeah.
So at this point, you've had 4 full albums released. Looking back at your first album, Halfway Home, to where you are now with Kiss the Sky, would you say the sound of the band has changed at all, or has it always kind of remained focused on that original vision from the beginning?
well, like I just touched on in a very roundabout, like not very focused way, we've kind of always been a kind of band of no questions, like just bring it to the table, and we'll go with it, see what you think, and
do you feel it's changed?
Yeah.
TV? Do you feel it's changed much yourself?
Yeah, it has, because obviously we've changed as people. 10 or 11 years is a lot of time in your life, especially when I turn 30 next month, so that's 1/3 of my life. And that's a lot of time in anyone's life. I wouldn't have honestly, for all ups and downs, wouldn't have changed it for anything in the world. I'm feel so content as a human being that I've done this thing with these guys. But yeah, getting back on topic, which I'm a bit tangential. You're gonna have to.
No, we like that. Don't worry about that.
Rein me in. No, enough about that, Steve. Actually, answer the question. I'll go into politics. Actually, yeah, the sound has changed. Have we actively tried to change our sound? No, we have always done what we always wanted to do, which is just write the music that we wanted to write with the people we wanted to write it with, and so yeah, we're so happy with Kiss the Sky. It's obviously where we are right now. It's the latest album. I say that where we are right now. It's bloody like a year ago, wasn't it? But it's all been a bit weird. I think just rip this year out the calendar. But but yeah, the sound has changed, but we have changed as people. And I actually listened to Halfway Home in my car the other day for the first time in God knows when, and I was like, you know what? I had a little bit of a proud moment for myself. I was like, this is a banging album.
We different that first album, don't we? We like that, man. You get that. Yeah. We dig Kiss the Sky for different reasons, but I love that first album of a band because you can hear that excitement. It's the roots of who you are. Coming through to sprout a little bit. And it's cool looking back, I imagine, for yourself and hearing that sound because, like you say, it's 10 years, man. That's it. Amazing.
But the thing is, we spent. We didn't do an album for like the first 5 years we were together. We just toured hard, gigged, and we did that on purpose because the whole idea was that when we then released an album, there hopefully would be some clout behind it. Whether or not the clout was there is a different question. But we wouldn't change that album for anything. Obviously we look back at it and go, oh well, this bit's too loud, this bit's too quiet. What the hell was Steve doing on the harmonica on that song? Christ alive, he can't play the harmonica for Toffee. But it's a time in our life, and wouldn't change it for the world.
Like you say, if you look back through all the different albums, you've had different experience. I mean, I know you guys went to the Monkey Studios in Wales and recorded with Jethro, which is where me and the boys.
Oh yeah.
Where me and the boys,
lad,
he's a fucking dude, isn't he, Jethro? Shout out to Jethro. I mean, we do similar to you guys with Kiss the Sky. We released our debut album in the middle of 2020, and we went and recorded with Jethro. And one of the things I enjoyed being in Wales was it had that real 70s vibe. I used to hear stories about Robert Plant when he recorded Led Zepp 2, and he'd go walking around Wales and all that bollocks. How was that experience for you and the boys? It'd be interesting to hear that compared to ours.
Exactly the same, man. We obviously mutual influences with our bands and stuff. I had dreams of riding around the valleys of Wales on horseback with an eagle on my shoulder and stuff like that, completely stark naked, and then going home and writing an album or whatever. But yeah, it was a long time ago now. But truth be told, again, it's that album. I listened to that as well. I mean, I know some would argue, most would argue, I'm extremely biased in the situation of what makes a good album. But truth be told, again, with Jethro, it was a great time in our lives. I remember you guys know, I don't got to convince you, that feeling when you're in the studio of creating something and you go, no, this shit's special, you know what I mean? And
Particularly being away with Jeffro, because we had 2 weeks just being immersed by nothing but the music, in each other.
Yeah.
I think that like you're saying, biggest thing for me was that very retro 70s vibe of not many bands go away and actually stay in a studio, and live and breathe it, and naturally you end up then being fucking immensely hungover the next day, I had one incident where I got very, very pissed and fucking fell over, and he's got that cattle grid thing for his boots outside his front door.
Yeah.
I fell on that bastard on the phone to my missus about 1:30 in the morning. I've still got the scar on my knee, but I think just being surrounded by it was quite spiritual for me, and it feels like it's the same for you boys, man.
It's not, it's a beautiful place to record it, but as you know, I don't drink, so
no, that's
you wouldn't catch me doing that.
No, of course not, brother.
Never.
But what I was going to say, Jeffro, truth be told, our second album, that was the first time we'd really had someone other than ourselves kind of produce things. Like Jeffro was kind of like the perfect balance of, yeah, that's cool, and also, fuck that. And we'd never had anyone tell us, we'd never had anyone say, no, that bit's shit, what you doing? So we were like, okay, but much like everyone who's helped us on our albums, he helped make that album what it is, and it was love that, especially that log cabin when you got that view. I mean, you know what I mean?
Funny, man.
Yeah.
I had my knob out a few times looking over that valley. I got to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm clipping that up.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna put that in context.
The more we can make Ryan edit things, the better, man. So
if we just keep slipping in throughout this podcast, and then I got my knob out.
Yeah, I got my knob out.
I'm just going to put that in with no context and just a complete...
That'll be the intro. This week on Beyond the Vibe.
You have to be careful. You have to be careful though, because he'll do you. Because we'll be chatting about a charity event for fucking school kids or something, and then he'll put in something like "got me knob out," and then we'll end up with fucking coppers knocking on our door. No, you have to limit it. We can't piss him off too much.
Oh, brilliant! Love it.
So going back to Kiss the Sky, Aaron obviously mentioned you're working with Jethro on a previous album.
Yeah.
But with Kiss the Sky, did you guys do anything different that time around, like with the recording process, or kind of? Not in as many words, other than the fact we were at Rockfield, which was fucking insane. With Brino, with Nick Bryan. Shout out to Nick Bryan, lad. It was just mental. It was just absolutely mental to play in a place of such musical kind of gravitas. Whether like Oasis, not Led Zeppelin. What am I talking about? You idiot. Led Zeppelin might have recorded there, I don't know. But whether or not you like them, Oasis recorded there, and Queen, and just so much history in the place. And I don't know, it was weird, man. It had. I'm not a particularly spiritual bloke, or I'm kind of fairly down to earth, but it had this aura and this atmosphere about it that was weird. Like we literally done this thing in one of the songs, one of the kind of more weirdy hippie songs, where we put a mic down the hall and chocked the door open to the studio, and Brino just rode the faders on the desk, and the whole building just sang to us. Like it was just the feedback of the building, and he was just riding the faders of these different mics, and it was like just going, just creating harmonies and stuff, and we used them in the song, and it was so bizarre, man. But it was like, and I was sitting there and I'm going, and I'd like chills going up my neck, like this is like so weird, man. But going back to Ryan's question, no, is the answer. No, we didn't really do anything different. We were far more particular and critical of our writing, whereas Shake a Leg, we kind of famously or not famously, went in with we had like 2 songs, and then we wrote the album in the studio. Kiss the Sky, we were like, right, this album number 4, we're not messing about now.
like we've got to make our stamp on the world, you know, or at least try our hardest to. And so we were like, we'd never have we fought more, never have we laughed more, never have we cried more as a unit. Because like I say, by this point we've been together sort of 9 years. You know, we know each other. Like we're inside each other's pockets for all this time. And we must have had we had 2 albums worth of stuff, and we eventually whittled it down to Kiss the Sky. And but again, shout out to Brino. He actually came all the way over from Wales to our home studio over here, and stayed with us for a weekend and listened to us play the songs and go, this is shit, this is great, this is whatever. So that when we went over to Rockfield, we were already a week ahead, because he'd known the songs, he'd got ideas brewing in his head, you know what I mean? It was really
cool, man. That's fucking
that was a really helpful thing for, you know, a great thing for him to do, so respect him for that. So I say he came over, listened to the scratch tracks, listened to us play the tracks, and go, right, you need to think about the bridge section, because like it's either too long, or, you know, why are you starting with guitar again? It needs to go straight in with the vocals and stuff like that. And you'd go, oh, okay, and it would, like, you'd have to think about it and go, right, okay, let's do it. You know, on your feet, right?
Yeah. It's good because he's pushing you, though, because he can obviously see there's potential there for the songs to be better than what they were, and he can see that in you, so he's pushing you.
That's exactly it. And Jethro and everyone we've mentioned before, Andy on the Shake a Leg album, you know, and ourselves on the Halfway Home, you know, they've all been great, you know, great at what they do. But Nick, something about Nick, Brino, and his ethos and the way he pushed us was like, it just clicked, like, and we got it. We're like, there wasn't kind of this, oh god, okay, what am I doing? Like, there was, okay, right, yeah, I get it, like, let's do it, like, you know what I mean? And he kind of like, he just made it work, like. But yeah,
that's awesome. Really cool, man. I mean, when you listen to the album, it's got that southern rock energy and that bluesy grit that obviously fans of the band will know you for. I mean, you got with tracks like, you know, Come a Little Closer and the title track Kiss the Sky. I mean, is there a personal favourite for you?
I know it's a basic bitch answer, man, but I honestly love every single track on that album.
Like, that's a basic bitch answer. He's going to get 500. He's got the album on. He's got every track. Every track. No, okay, all right. Nitty gritty, getting down to it. Yeah, I like them all. I do. I like them all. You know what I mean? No, I'm joking. Like. I love Kiss the Sky. I do love Kiss the Sky. I love Can You Save Me? Because that is arguably one of the more real songs on the album. The lyrics are about the fact that we've been a band for 10 years and it's not exactly gone the way possibly we thought it was going to go when we were 19, 20 years old. You know, but it was a song that we wrote together, and it was obviously a song that it came together real quick, but we obviously all felt this emotion, you know, and it kind of, everyone got where it was going. And like, you know, the lyrics, can you save me from who I am? Or how can you save me from who I am? You know, it's just yeah, it's one of my favorites because it rings true. Like it's, you listen to the words, it's quite a downbeat song, but I like to think the overall vibe of it is uplifting and kind of like, it doesn't matter, we're going to do this for as long as we can, you know. Other than that, Something About Your Kiss, which was on the CD but not the vinyl. For literally, people always say, "Why is that song not on the vinyl?" Literally didn't fit. That was the only reason. Couldn't fit on the vinyl. There's so much time you can put on the vinyl. And the Something About Your Kiss, that kind of weirdy hippie song, that's the one with the kind of the singing from Rockfield in it. So yeah, those 2 or 3, they're my personal favourites. But I say any song on there, banging as far as I'm concerned. But again, slightly biased. No, I'm glad we pushed you a bit there, though, man. Because it was to hear you divulge around Save Me and like see you had that little moment where you was looking back on you and the boys having that time together. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Going away from the band, brother, as a frontman, you've obviously got quite an iconic look, mainly based around hair, similar to myself. It's interesting how being a scruffy bastard can be socially acceptable when you're in a big band.
It's interesting how fewer people like adopt the scruffy bastard lifestyle. Like, it's a lot easier.
It's a lot easier, man. You know, and if
Yeah.
you're struggling for cash, you can just sit by the side of the road, you know, write your anorak up, and you
sit outside Greg's, mate. Make a fortune.
you're killing it, man. But as a frontman, as a performer, is there anyone in particular that inspired you when you're creating your identity on stage?
That's a really good question, right? As you can imagine, I've done a few like Q&As and interviews and stuff, but I've never been asked. I've been asked who influences me, but I've not been asked who influences how I look or like my character.
Yeah, you move because it is a character, isn't it? I think of it like that. You know.
Oh, 100%. Like, you meet me down the pub, I'm a different bloke to who I am on stage, and tangentially, and I promise I will get back to the question.
That's cool. That's all right.
I think that is quite important, that you are different on stage to off stage, because if everyone's John Bon Jovi, if someone's John Bon Jovi all the time, no one's buying that guy a pint. You know what I mean? I no disrespect to John Bon Jovi. What I mean is, like, you got to have a difference between who you are on stage and who you are off the stage to kind of level yourself out in a roundabout kind of way. Anyway, right, go back to what you asked. I'll shut up. You can cut that bit out if you want. I'll tell you, the Ty from the Vintage Trouble, he was a big influence on me. He crazy dance moves. It doesn't really seem to give a flying F what anyone thinks about him. That was kind of a big influence. With regards to kind of like the funky shirts and stuff, that's literally just what I've always worn, and I love loud shirts, and because I've got no style. Yeah, I don't really know, man. Like, yeah, Cormac Neeson from The Answer, he was a big one.
Yeah, but we're big for that first Answer album
in particular.
Yeah, we had the good grace to tour with them. 2015. I'll let question mark. I'll let everyone tell me I was wrong later. He's a huge influence on me. He kind of one of the guys who sort of made me want to sing. Again, long brown hair, unkempt brown hair, flares, pointy boots. That's a big thing. That's a fun memory as well. For all the kind of bad times, but like, I remember being on tour with them, and I was sitting at like 2 a.m. in this bar in Exeter with Cormac Neeson, who just bought me a whiskey. I hate whiskey. I still hate whiskey. But he bought me.
You had to pretend at that point, though, didn't you? Like...
He bought me a whiskey, and this is the guy who kind of got me to want to sing and stuff. And I'm like, this, that moment is burnt into my brain, So yeah, that was a cool moment. But yeah, what was the question?
No, I think you got there, mate. I think you got there. You're all right. So obviously you and the boys signed to Marshall Records in 2018, in which your album Shake the Leg alongside Kiss the Sky released. A lot of people probably interested because you hear about bands getting signed and getting involved in stuff. But how did this change things for you and the boys?
So, we still lug our own gear into the show. You know what I mean? It's not.
That's what people want to know.
Yeah, I don't have a makeup person or someone who picked my shirts out for me, but they've been very what's the word, humble, and they've brought a I'm trying to think of the right word, a legacy, or they've brought like a maturity and gravitas to the band. Again, the days of signing a band and getting 8 million quid to make an album that no one likes, well gone. But to have their knowledge and their maturity, and also they'll sort us out an amp if ours break on tour. Next thing you know, there next day, like is really kind, and they are. That people say about the Marshall family, and it is a family. Like everyone who works there is, seems, is a nice person, and everyone we deal with is just very professional. But there's this air of that, everyone who works there cares about music and cares about the bands, and all the bands, we get on and stuff, and it's, it is 80% the music you make, but 20%, if you go into a Marshall audition and you're an arsehole, they ain't gonna sign you, no matter how good you are, and so yeah, they're lovely people, and we wouldn't be without them. We honestly wouldn't be without them.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now your name came up while we were chatting stories with Jack Edwards of Piston.
Did it?
Oh yes, and we've had.
What does old pretty boy want?
Yeah, everyone always says this about Jack. Whenever we bring him up, they always go, "Oh, pretty boy."
Yeah.
500 quid leather jackets.
Put your 6-pack away, Brad Pitt. What are you on about, man?
I can't remember the story. I think but all I remember is that you came running out of a hotel room. That's all I remember. You came up to Jack and you went, "Oh, this has happened. And you all scarfed. Can you remember the story?
I've got absolutely no idea.
I can't remember it. Whoever's not watched it, I'll have to watch Jack's episode.
Can I say?
When Jack told me, all I remember is that in my mind, just imagining you like that. Like something out of Looney Tunes.
Probably happened. Can I just say I'm an awful actor, and if I actually knew anything about it, you would know. All right, so I'll have to. Because obviously we're going on tour with Piston, aren't we? So I'll have to quiz Jack about that. I'm like, what the hell are you on about, man? I've got no idea. But chances are, I mean, not that I drink, but chances are something was involved that made me not realise what I was doing.
It happens, man.
But yes, we heard obviously some stories from Jack, and then we heard some others from like Gorilla Riot and Brad from Massive. So we were wondering if you had any kind of pranking stories or any mad stories from on the road. Can you top Jack Edwards?
I quite honest, Ryan. I don't know where you're getting all these allegations from, to be honest.
It's not from us, Steve. It's not from We know you're a good Baptist boy. We know this. We don't drink. We know you've got the 6-pack and you're out running and overtaking.
Yeah.
We know that.
I don't run unless something is chasing me that could possibly eat me. That's the only. We're bored as batshit, man. I know this is another basic bitch answer, but we're very much the kind of hanging around in the dressing room kind of guys. Not to say that shit doesn't go south sometimes, but I do remember, because I don't know why my brain has decided to pick this out right now when I'm talking to you two, but I can't remember where we were. Can't remember what was going on, but I remember being in a hotel hallway, doors, like a travel lodge, and I'm completely stark bollock naked.
Yes, this was it.
This is
It was a knob out. It was a knob out situation.
It was
ironically.
I think he had the tail end of the story.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but I was starkers, and honestly, you could see that was genuinely me thinking about how this ended.
I could see the going.
Because I know I didn't sleep in the hallway, so I obviously ended up in someone's room, but who knows? Could have been anyone. So there you go. That's a nice little tidbit for you. That'll give people nightmares after the Beyond the Vibe podcast. But
so if there was anybody wandering the corridors of the hotel that night and just saw a random
Harry,
that's it. If you listen real carefully in some travel lodges across the UK, you can still hear the whisper.
Still hear it now. Yeah.
Still hear the. One of the things we like to do, man, when we're having a bit of a chat and chinwagging that, is we like to ask people what they do away from music. Like, what do you do work-wise?
Yeah.
The hobbies that you've picked up during the pandemic.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I'm a removal man, believe it or not. I pick up stuff stuff and put it somewhere else. That's because as you could probably tell, I didn't do very well in school. So I'm not a marine biologist or anything. Like that's if you've got some heavy shit and you need it somewhere else, that's me. I'm your guy. Like,
I'd happily let you come in my house.
Yeah,
not a problem. Not a problem.
Yeah, if I turn up and went, bing bong, I'm here to move all of your worldly possessions, you'd be completely fine with that.
I'd say to my missus, let him in, he's fine.
But we're not even moving.
Let him in, not a problem.
Especially if I was stark bollock naked.
And weirdly enough, we live in a travel lodge, so it's all coming together.
So I'd feel completely at home.
Exactly. So it all makes sense. No, that's cool, man.
No, I've been trying. I don't know what you can see. I've been trying to play the old keyboard there.
Oh, lovely.
So I've been that's been my kind of. I've been trying to learn to do that. I've always wanted to play the old ivories, but I'm still awful. But I'm better than I was at playing the harmonica on halfway home.
That's all that matters then.
That's it, yeah. So other than that, not really doing anything. Just pubs are open now, so is that a hobby? Is that okay to be a hobby?
There's somewhere for you to get your tap water from, isn't it?
That's it, yeah. That's it, mate.
You don't drink, so
No, of course. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well remembered.
With gigs like returning seemingly now, how do you guys planning on like celebrating the album? Like, what's your plans for 2021? Since as 2020 is kind of a write-off.
Definitely was a write-off. What a fucking write-off. So yeah, Kiss the Sky. Our Kiss the Sky tour, as you may or may not be aware, was rescheduled. Several times, 3 times, I think, which obviously sucks. It's now the better late than never tour, because we thought it's too late to be the Kiss the Sky tour. So so that's our plan. That's the kind of the crowning jewel in what our year is looking to. End of November, the middle of November to into the start of December, we're going to be going on the road, hopefully. Fingers crossed. 4th time lucky or whatever. with Piston. Shameless plug. It's all at badtouchrocks.co.uk if anyone's interested. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking forward to. I'll be lying if I won't say that we were getting I was getting emails like every day, of gigs being rescheduled to like next year, which obviously sucks. So we do have stuff in the pipeline, but I'm kind of a bit hesitant to kind of talk about them, because like, what's the point if they're going to probably be moved? You know what I mean? So we're really sincerely hoping that the Better Late Than Never tour does happen. I can't see it not happening. Although if the last 18 months has been anything to go by, we're all just a bit numb to kind of like things changing. Like if we'd have lost a tour 2 years ago, it would have been mortifying, right? But now I'm sure you guys know, it's just like, yeah, okay, whatever. Just let me know when the new date is. Like, and that's kind of where we're at. We have got some stuff in the pipeline. We are going back into the studio very soon. I can't say too much, but we are going back in the studio very soon to just do. Let's call it a little bit of fun. It's it's not another album or anything, but it is going to be some new material. Just to sort of get back at it, really, because like I said earlier, like I touched on earlier, in a very bonkers tangential way. This last 18 months or so has really realigned everything for us as mates and as band members. Like, it's the old adage, you don't know what you got till it's gone, and it's never been more true in Bad Touch's hearts until now. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Finally, a question that I always kind of like to finish on. It's a bit of a hypothetical one. If you could tour with one band from the past and one band from the present, who would they be?
I have no fucking idea.
Everybody goes, "Oh my god!" Like they just can't.
A lot of swearing. A lot of swearing normally.
Yeah, sorry. I do apologise for my potty
You're
mouth.
allowed to swear, man.
Yeah.
I've had nobody to talk to for, you know, apart from my fair lady who's used to my potty mouth. One person, I don't know. Humble pie would have been a good one.
Oh, really cool choice, man.
Yeah, humble pie, a good one. I mean, I must admit, I've plucked that out of thin air because I've just been listening to a lot of them recently, and just think, and I can't believe I've not listened to them before, and I'm just like, these guys obviously created the sound that we're now a part of, like, but I'd never really listened to it, like. And the worst part is, I've got a mate of mine who had been telling me for years to listen to Humble Pie, and I just hadn't, because, like, you know. So we go, oh yeah, I'll check it out, and then I did. I was like, I should have listened to these years ago. And then I don't know, band from the day. I don't know, like some up and coming band called These Wicked Rivers. That'd be good. Yeah.
It's nice, this is, because we've got loads of potential hypothetical gigs scheduled.
Schedule,
man. When it all kicks off, when these come through, it's going to be manic. And I'd happily gig with you guys in Humble Pie. There'd be a lot of colourful shirts. We like.
There was. I saw you guys play supported Wolfjaw or the Bad Flowers.
Yes, I said that to Ryan. I remember seeing you because I around. I went. I was telling him about that gig. Yeah.
Yeah, and in was it the Asylum?
Yeah, man, in Bimbro.
Yeah, bloody hell! Have I got the band right and the venue? Crikey!
Oh, you fucking smashed this! Now I'd love it if you got to the end of this and then you got my name wrong. That's the thing. Like, you got
Ryan, Dave. Nice to meet you, mate.
Thanks, mate.
No, and I fell in love with you guys that day. Really, I mean, not blowing smoke up your arsehole trombone or whatever, but like really, you guys got an awesome sound.
Very good sound. Thank you.
Yeah, you know, and I was, you know, that obviously was a joke when I said I'd tour with you, because I couldn't dream of anything worse. But but no, God, is he joking? Isn't he? No, yeah, you guys are great. Love to do something in the future.
Yeah, always, man. I'm sure I'll pass across.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
But no, thanks for the mention. I'm sure if we were on tour, there'd be a lot of bollocks and a lot of knobs, a lot of knob outs.
Yeah, there would be. You know, I'm not here to pick between bollocks and knobs. You know what I mean?
No, that's for the audience to decide in the comments below.
I think we've found our teaser for the Beyond the Vibe.
I think we're on about 6 or 7 knob outs that Ryan's got to edit out.
I'm leaving it.
Normally his computer screen on a Friday night's full of knob outs anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I come into these podcasts with such innocent and great intentions, right? I'm going to promote the band. Don't sound like a dickhead. Like, just be a normal bloke for 30 minutes, Steve. Can I do it? Never. So thank you for perpetuating this whole poison that I am as a person. So.
No, you've come across beautiful as always, Stevie. Don't worry.
Oh, cheers, lad.
Massive thanks to Stevie for chatting to us. For those that haven't checked out Bad Touch, make sure to go to listen to their most recent album, Kiss the Sky. Give it a spin. Follow them and Stevie on the Facebook, the Insta, and YouTube. And make sure you're down for the tour with Piston. When is it? November, December?
First day is the Wednesday, the 17th of November.
Fucking hell, that's good.
Mate, I'll tell you what. I'm pro. Wednesday, at the waterfront in Norwich. So check it out. badtouchrocks.co.uk.
Nice one. Thanks ever so much, brother. Peace and love.
You are more than welcome. Peace and love, guys. Thank you very much.
Yes, so that was Stevie of Bad Touch.
I love Stevie. I love him. I do. I find him very cheeky and a pleasure to chat to. And he's what, you know, when you're interviewing people and asking questions, we've got quite a strict structure. Not strict, like I think we're very flexible actually, but we put a structure in place because we like the timeline thing as part of what we do with Beyond the Vibe.
We like to kind of unveil some early stories.
Yes, and then lead it up to the point right now. And Stevie's a pleasure to interview because I just think his passion and his overall energy for what he does comes across really well. Yeah,
for me, the overall energy, you can't help but kind of get drawn into what he does, and you know, because he's so passionate about it.
Similar with the band.
You
Similar with Bad Touch live, I think it's a really good, what you said then is a really good representation of what they are live. You can't help but get drawn into it, because of the overall energy of not just Stevie but the band as a whole. And I think when they do play Push Play Festival, I think they'll be a great act as well as the other bands on the bill. Speaking of which,
Who else do we have? As if by magic.
The shopkeeper appears, and the shopkeeper is Lee Graham.
Yes, we have Lee Graham up next, of Just Push Play. Oh my god.
And that was thunder.
And if you heard that is thunder, and you can hear that now.
So we're here with our brother, Mr. Lee Graham.
Cheers,
A lot of love, Mr. Graham. People will know him for his radio show where he tends to nick most of our guests, but he's also the organiser for Just Push Play Festival. Lee, do you want to give us a bit of background to how the festival came about and obviously how long it's been going for people that don't know?
Yeah, certainly. So anyone who doesn't know, I started the festival in 2015. And it's going to sound like a bit of a sad story, but it's the positive side of it. In 2010, I lost my dad to cancer. In 2015, it'd been 5 years, it was the 5th anniversary of him passing away. And I decided, because music was a huge part of our relationship, he took me to see Aerosmith when I was 11 years old, and that was me hooked for life, walking in this little shy 11-year-old kid and coming out going, "Dad, where's your record collection?" So we were tossing ideas around in the pub one night, me and my friends, and someone taking the mix said, "Lee, you should organise Live Aid." And they got told where to go quite quickly. And then I thought, well, a gig makes sense. Me and my dad's relationship with music, and I was in bands myself at the time. And just for them lads that were in the pub, it was like, well, if you did it, we'd play. If you did it, we'd play. And I'm thinking, okay, so Throwaway Commons got 5 bands locked in. Let's see where it goes. So it was only ever meant to be a one-off. And we started off a social club in Bury St Evans where it's still held, but not at the social club anymore. We moved over to the Apex in 2018, which is where it's been ever since. But since then, it was supposed to be a one-off show for the 5th anniversary. My dad passed away, raising money for St Nicholas Hospice, which we still do, thanks to everyone's support. And it's just rolled on year and year, growing bit by bit each year. And we're now at the stage where I've been at the Apex the last 3 years and raised about £18,000 for the hospice to date. So that's sort of a brief overview, if you like, of the backstory.
No, that's amazing, man. Can you remember what that first lineup was? Or at least the line band was from 2015.
God, who headlined? It was a local band. It was all local bands on the first year. So
wow, so it's grown considerably then, hasn't it?
Yeah. The first year was my mate's band, Vote the Colonel. They headlined it. We had another band, my mate's band playing. We had the likes of Frets, were like a little local rockabilly band. My band, which lasted for the exclusivity of that one gig. we opened up, did 3 songs, and then were never to be seen again. And
too good to be done.
Yeah.
Well, you know how it is. Men Among Us are really good. If you guys like they're still about my mate Stevie's band, real good band. If you like your doomy stoner metal, they're really top quality. They just released a killer EP that I've been playing on the radio show as well. So anyone listening who likes the doomy side of things, go check out Men Among Us, definitely.
Cool. And what can you tell us about the lineup for this year's festival? Obviously, we spoke to Stevie from Bad Touch as part of this episode. We had a good chat with cheeky boy Stevie, and obviously Bad Touch are a part of that. But who else have we got along?
Yeah, so headlining it, we've got obviously got Those Damn Crows headlining it. Bad Touch, as you say, there are very special guests, and then we've got Gorilla Riot playing. We've got Piston, Florence Black, the most recent announcement a few months back, because we had to delay the lineup from 2020 to 2021 because obviously the pandemic and everything. I did manage to squeeze a few more bands in, so Florence Black, one of those. Piston came on board after Rocket Doll Sally had to pull out, as it were. Right. And then we've also got Samakind, Noel Dellers, who I love, Jack J. Hutchinson's on the bill, At the Sun, and the Hot 1 2 are opening it up. So
awesome.
10 bands on the bill this year, so going to be a bit of a stormer.
Yeah, man. Like I said, when you said about that first, because obviously I didn't know the origins of the festival, and to hear that obviously that back in 2015 it was mainly local bands, to go from there to obviously having Crows headline, and Crows are obviously seen as one of the forerunners of New Wave. I bet that makes you really proud, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's thanks to the people who say it's me. It's my idea, maybe, and yeah, it's a lot of work to do it. But without everyone's support, it doesn't happen. Simple as that. No one buys tickets. It would have fallen flat on its face. On the first year, I just purely wanted to do, like I say, initial plan was just to do one for the 5th anniversary. It was only when Facebook memories started coming up the following year of me starting to promote the first one, and people started going, "Oh, Lee, you're going to do another one." We had a really good time the first year. And I thought, all right, I'll keep going with it. Well, keep raising money for the hospice, and why not? And then in 2018, which would have been the 3rd year that we did it, or well, 3rd year, 4th event, I I'm just going to see how far I can push this. I don't know. I'm a cheeky git, and go big or go home was the theory on that one. And I decided, right, I could keep going the way I'm going, and it'd be great, and it'd be a really good night. But also because of the reasons behind the show, I want to raise as much as possible for the hospice, because although my dad was only ill for 13 days with cancer, he could have been ill for 20 minutes, and I still would want to thank them for as much as I possibly can. And that is all Just Push Play is me thanking that hospice, So yeah, in 2018, I decided, right, let's go big or go home. Let's see how far we can push this. I set up a crowdfunder campaign to try and get their deposit down for the Apex, and gave myself a target of about 8 weeks. Thanks to everyone, putting their hands in their pockets and donating to the cause. We actually had the deposit for it within 2 weeks. And by the time the 8 weeks was up, we'd managed to cover the cost of the show.
Wow, amazing.
So anything thereafter was just going straight to the hospice. And the first year, we were lucky enough to have then the Bad Flowers, obviously now Wolfjaw, headline. They were our first sort of big headliner that we had.
They're big at that point, weren't they? I mean, we had Tom on the show and we looked back on their timeline. I remember gigging with Rivers with Bad Flowers, and at that time they were really the forerunners of it.
I was so buzzing when they agreed, because I just bought the Starting Gun album, and again thinking, I don't know, maybe they'll be interested, maybe they'll just think I'm a dickhead. I don't know. I'm just gonna go for it. Let's see what happens. And I went for it and spoke to Tom and Dale and Carl, and they were like, "Look, here's our booking agents. We're up for it. Just get in contact." And then, yeah, sure enough, we sorted it out. And that year it was predominantly local bands still, but those guys, stormed off with the headlining set. And then last year we had Massive Wagons. Sorry, not last year. Obviously, nothing happened last year. It's a no year last year. No one.
Everybody forgets.
Yeah. Yeah, I always say last year, and I'm like, no, it wasn't. But yeah, we had Massive Wagons, we had Amarettes, Hollistar, Dead Man's Whiskey, False Hearts, Fallen Mafia.
Yeah,
man, it was storming that. And it's that thing where I always get because it means so much to me, because of obviously the reasons behind the show. I am bricking it up until those doors open. I was the same the first one I organised. Is anyone going to turn up? Have I put this on for? Am I going to look like an idiot? And even when it got to the point of the Apex, obviously tickets were at that point getting sold in advance, and I knew what numbers were going to come through that door. But I was still going, what if no one turns up? What if no one turns up? And I remember last year, one of the bands, Broken Soul, who opened up the show last year, they came down. I know the boys very well. They came down and helped me with setting up and stuff. And I was just pacing back and forth backstage, and Daryl, their drummer, and my good friend as well, he just ended up shoving a bottle of rum in my hand and going, "Chug that and calm down." And it was exactly what I needed, by the way, because it did come quite shortly afterwards. But it's that thing where obviously during the day, I'm running around, I'm trying, I'm doing this a bit of a. I'm not going to say it's a one-man band, because my wife helps me out on the day. I've got some good friends backstage who help me out, but we're not a huge festival. It's me, myself, and a handful of mates who are running around trying to make sure everyone has a good time. And you get to those moments where you stop and you stand, right, I'm going to go and watch Massive Wagons, in this case, for 30 seconds, and seeing a room full of people and just enjoying themselves. And everyone loves them. Everyone loves a Massive Wagons gig. Don't get me wrong. They were the reason people came through the door, as well as everyone else who was on the lineup. No one comes to see me. You know what I mean? It's all for them. But you stand there side of stage and you just think, this is, especially me, this is why I just think, this is for my dad, man. And this, it means something positive came out of that, like the shittest thing that has ever actually happened to me in losing him. And that was the whole thing of it, because obviously, like anyone who's lost a parent or a loved one, that was a horrible, horrible period in my life. And it's something obviously I'm going to say it's over, because you will always miss them. But the reasons behind Just Push Play and doing it is to make him proud, raise money for the hospice, and keep his memory alive. And when you see people having a really good time, then it's worth all the stress and sleepless nights. That's for sure.
That was really well articulated, man. That was really lovely. Like, we'd come Just Push Play just to see you. we'd
Bless you.
I'd be looking, now you've said that, like with that headline band's on with like crows, I'd be looking for you just to see that moment when you look over and take it all in. Because like I say, I mean, you've put so much work and it's evolved so much over time, and I'm sure your dad would be so proud of you for the amount of effort and work you've put in, and the amount of money you've raised as well. You know, it's a big achievement, mate. It's really cool.
And it wouldn't be without anyone else. That, you know, like say, the bands don't come, people don't buy tickets, don't buy t-shirts, don't put their hands in their pockets, because we have, like, you know, buckets for the change sort of thing. I always remember, like, when Wolfjaw headline got in set, and Tom holds up this bucket and he's like, right, you can leave here with notes, but no one's leaving with any changes. All going, and he made people. Tom Borrell, I thought Dale was actually going to start picking up people and shaking them upside down. If it wasn't for people, doing it, no one raised funds for the hospice. You know?
Well, that's it, and I think that with a lot of the bands, because we've obviously, similar to yourself, interviewed a lot of bands on the scene. I think that sense of community goes hand in hand with what you're trying to do as well, you know, and that's why focusing on the new wave of classic rock works really well.
Well, it's decided. Don't get me wrong. You talk. Well, I say with an Aerosmith tattoo. I'm in the process of getting it covered up because I got it done when I was 18, and it's now starting to look quite bad. But yeah, I love my classics. Don't get me wrong. But the newer side of things is so fiery the last few years. And it's the bit that gets me really excited, you know what I mean? They're the bands that I want on the bill. Obviously, if I had the budget for Aerosmith, I'd do it in a fucking heartbeat, but I don't. So, you know, the band scene that's out there at the minute is just storming, man. And I just really hope that, you know, when live music returns, that people go and support the gigs that we've all missed, whether it be Just Push Play or Call of the Wild or Stone Dead, or, you know, I was going to say Rambling Man Fair, but sadly that got pulled this week, which is a shame because I love that festival. Or any other, you know, gigs like, you know, obviously yourself. I'm coming up to see you in Derby, mate, with Wolfjaw. Obviously, I'm looking forward to that. You know, let's just hope people support that live scene again, because God knows we've all missed it.
Yeah, man. And if people want to buy tickets for Just Push Play, where can they find them?
Yeah, so just head over to the Apex website, which is the venue, and you'll find us on there. Or if you go to justpushplay.festival.co.uk, there's a ticket link on the menu bar that will take you straight to the Apex page for the tickets.
Brilliant. Now, it wouldn't be a Beyond the Vibe episode without Ryan basically asking his signature question. City Mystic Graham. Slightly reworked. Yes, right, this is interesting.
Right, if Just Push Play goes like crazy, and you can pick any one band from the past and one band from the present to headline your gig,
you can bring them back from the dead.
Yeah,
you've got the power.
You can reanimate them. Who would they be?
Reanimate's quite a dark sort of phrase for bringing them back from the dead, but we'll roll with it.
We'll go with it. Yeah.
I'm imagining Thunderbirds.
String puppet. Oh god, one band. The first band that comes to mind is Zeppelin. That's the first one that comes to mind. But equally, thinking about it, as a bass player and one of the men who took it, it'd have to be Thin Lizzy with Phil Lynott.
Great choice, man.
Because he was the man who started making me pick up bass. So it'd have to be Thin Lizzy with Phil Lynott. In terms of now, and I was going to say Rival Sons because they're a band that I absolutely adore, but a band. I know you've had that a lot.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
It's such a popular one. Like, it surprised me before I started this, because I thought they were kind of one of those ones that are like on the precipice of getting.
Because it feels like they're now becoming a classic band in their own right. You know, they're on that next tier.
I mean, I can't believe it. Like, the Pressure and Time album's like 10 years old this year.
Yeah,
it's mad.
Great.
I can remember seeing them support Blackstone Cherry around late 2010, 2009.
Yeah, I saw them on that still.
And I didn't like them. You know,
No?
And now I look back and I go through all their albums, and I really enjoy pretty much all their albums for different reasons, you know. But Feral Roots and Great Western Valkyrie were the feeder albums for me. They what drew me in, particularly Feral Roots. It's just epic in every way, you know. So what would you have instead of Rival Sons? Sorry, Lee?
If we're not, let's go for something different. Let's go a band that are really exciting me right now. That I know you guys have spoke to. One of the guests that you nicked off me, but you did it ahead of me talking to them, so don't worry about it. And the Damn Truth. I'd have the Damn Truth.
Yes.
Yeah, they're really exciting me, man. It's only been a couple of months since I started listening to them. I got sent This Is Who We Are Now to the radio show email address. I got promo sent to that. And anyone who's good enough to send me something, I'll listen to it straight away. Don't get me wrong, some of it's not always my thing, but I'll always give it a shot. And as soon as I listened to it, I was like, this is for me. This is really for me. And I sort of emailed their PR guy, Pete Noble, who I know very well, and said to Pete, thanks for sending this across. This is great. And the next thing I know, I get an email saying, well, do you want to chat to the guys? And I'm like, yeah, all right, why not? But yeah, they're out. Their album Now We'll Know, which was released last week, is an absolute stormer of an album. So yeah, if we're going for something new, let's go something really new, and let's go with The Damn Truth.
They are coming over to the UK, aren't they? They're doing the tour.
Yeah, they're coming over in April, aren't they? They're actually coming they're playing at the Apex where we hold Just Push Play.
Oh, cool.
There with King King. Yeah, because King King are playing at the Apex, and they're obviously touring and supporting King King, so that'd be cool. So yeah, already arranged with Lee and PY to have a good few beers. So that'd be good.
Beautiful. Love it. Oh, nice one. Thanks ever so much for chatting to us, Lee. Obviously, we're good friends.
No, thanks for your time, dudes.
Big love,
And it's good to see you guys.
Yeah, and anybody who hasn't already picked up a ticket for Just Push Play Festival, what are you doing?
I know, this is what I'm doing.
What you doing?
Come
yeah.
on.
Classic.
It's for charity, it's cheap. If you're not buying it, then...
I love it when Ryan kicks off. It's like he's on BBC News going on about his hedgerow. It's like, what are you doing? It's truly beautiful. Yeah, it's an awesome festival, great cause. Obviously, like Lee's story truly backs that up, and it's got that real good sense of community that we like with the new wave of classic rock. So yeah, make sure you check it out, and also check out Lee's radio show. Where can they find the radio show, Lee?
The radio show is on RWSFM on Friday evenings from 6 o'clock.
Beautiful. Nice one. Thanks ever so much, man. Appreciate it. And that was Lee, organiser of Just Push Play Festival and radio show extraordinaire. If you are watching this, we haven't been killed by the thunder that's surrounding Ryan's house. I
live on top of a mountain top.
We've spoken to the local vicar and we've confirmed that Lee cannot control the weather. Because as soon as we mentioned his name, it did thunder.
Yeah.
So we're just making sure that Lee, if you are watching this, please don't. We're good people. You know what I mean? Don't burn the house down. But we love chatting to Lee, don't we?
Yeah. Genuinely cool guy. He's at the time of recording this, he's just done a 24-hour.
He would have done that yesterday.
Yeah.
Respect.
In aid of the charity Mind. Which is madness. I don't think I could go for 24 hours. No. But
I think everything he does comes from a very good place, and he's genuinely just a wonderful person, And like I say, if you are going to Just Push Play Festival, you're not just supporting the bands, you're supporting, a really good cause, and and it's all in memory of obviously Lee's dad, which I think was a really, really good. I think he articulated all of that really well, and it's really cool vibe, man.
Yeah, really cool vibe.
So, man.
And as I said at the end of the interview, there it's very cheap for all of those bands. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's mad. It's like a new wave of classic rock showcase.
It really is.
Killer, man.
Really, really cool. So obviously go check that out. I believe there's only so many tickets left as well.
Yeah, so get on it.
So I think it's like around like 80 left.
Yeah.
Somewhere lower, maybe even lower now.
So go on the Apex website, which is the name of the venue, get yourself a ticket, and as well, another shout out to Mr. Stevie with Bad Touch. Check out Bad Touch. Give Mr. Lee Graham and Mr. Stevie all the love. And where can people go if they want to find out more about us guys rather than them? Rather than them lot.
If they don't want to go to a charity event.
Well, I mean, we are basically a charity event, aren't we? It's
charity ends at my home.
Yes.
If people want to check us out, you could go onto our Facebook page, Beyond the Vibe, where every Wednesday you can find out who our guest is via a new teaser trailer.
Yes, and we've got many, very cool up-and-coming guests booked in the timeline. We have a new guest every week. We have international artists across the pond. you know, local artists, new wave classic rock artists, the old artists. We do the lot.
It could be anybody.
It could be anyone. It could be Camilla Parker Bowles, but it's probably not going to be. But if you don't
It
go,
could be you.
yeah, it could be you.
Right. If we survive this lightning, because I've just seen another flash.
So we don't.
And on that note, we will see you next week.